beautiful people. It is Dr. Stephanie, and I just wanted to talk a little bit more about how you can stroll through your business. So, in my first video, I talked about how I look at my business more like a stroll versus a step show where you're stepping hard, you're doing it for an extended period of time, and you're putting it all out there and leaving it on the floor. That's what you do when you step. But when you stroll, it's a little bit more laid back. There's a little bit more ebb and flow to it. And you can do that for a long period of time. It just goes and goes because you're constantly in flow. So that's how I look at my business. I look at myself as strolling through my business. I'm not going fast and hard and one and done. It is a consistent flow. And so I just wanted to share 3 practical steps about how I stroll through my business. The first one is consistency. When you have a business, you have to have the major building blocks. You need to know who your target audience is. What is the problem that your business solves? What is their pain point? What do they need that they need it enough that they're willing to come to you for help to solve that problem for them? So you need to know your target audience. You need to know what their pain point is. You need to know what problem you're solving. And then once you understand that, you need to know who you are. Who are you as a brand? What are you offering in the marketplace? Once you know all of those things, then you need a sales strategy, you need a marketing strategy, and you need an undeniable product, right? So once you have your marketing strategy, your sales strategy, you have your undeniable product, you are going to rinse and repeat that over and over. There will be different variations of it each time you do it. Just like when you're doing a stroll, you do the same steps, but you may add a little flair, you may add a little extra kick here, a different attitude there. So that's what you're going to do in your business. But you still have the same strategy, the same marketing, the same target audience, the same building blocks, because those are consistent. And similar to when you're in a stroll, the first couple times you do the steps, you may not be as confident. But by the 3rd time or the 4th time that you've rinsed and repeated, you gain a little bit of your confidence. You gain a little bit of your mojo and your magic, and you start to really strut your stuff. And that's the same thing that happens in the business. Once you have done these steps over and over, you start to gain more confidence in how to do it, and you add different things to it. So you have some extra flair. So that's the first tip, is consistency. Now, the next way that I stroll through my business is that you really have to attract the people to you, right? How are you attracting the people to you? You have to learn how to draw a crowd. And that may take some experimentation, right? I talked about how when you see sororities or fraternities or other organizations strolling, they are in a circle, a center circle, because it's something that is continuous. It's a continuous flow. But there's a larger circle surrounding them, and that's the crowd that they draw, right? They're drawn to their energy. So you have to learn how to draw a crowd in your business. Understanding your audience. What is it that they want? And what is it that they want that only you or your business can provide? Or maybe there are other businesses that can provide it, but only you can provide it in a certain way. So what is that thing that your audience wants that only you can provide in the way that they want it? And then once you figure that out, pay attention to how they respond to it, right? So this is what you think that they want, and this is how you think they want it. So you start to experiment and see the response. Is your crowd getting bigger? Is the circle around the strolling circle bigger and thicker? Okay, you figured it out how to draw a crowd. Or is it starting to thin out? Maybe what they want and how they want it has changed. So you might need to change up your step just a little bit to see if you can draw more of a crowd. You might need to add a little bit more energy, a little bit more height into your moves in order to draw that crowd. So that's the second thing. Learn how to draw a crowd. And then the third thing is really about the act of strolling. Just be happy. It's one of the most joyful things you will witness when you watch someone do it. And your business should be one of the most joyful things that people witness when they watch you in your business. Love it. Be happy. Whether there's a big circle or a small circle around you, this is your sacred space. You get to be creative. You get to add intensity. You get to dial down the intensity. Make it a little bit more mysterious. Make it a little bit more low key. Bring it up to be more high key. Make it sassy. Make it speak. Live it. Live in that space. This is the space that you get to create. It's your sacred space. So enjoy it. Enjoy it like you would a stroll, not something that's going to be over in the next 10 minutes, like a sprint or like a step show, like I said, like a performance. You're not there to perform. You're there to be your authentic self. You get to express yourself through your products, through your services, through your marketing, through your branding. You get to express yourself and create. And that is the most fun thing about being in business. So definitely do that, because that's sort of how I live and treat my business like a stroll. I know it's a circle. It's not a straight line. It's not linear. There's not a starting point and an ending point. It's a continuation. I understand the consistency, that even when I don't feel like doing the things, I have to keep doing the things. I have to keep rinsing and repeating and doing the steps. I have to keep drawing a crowd. I have to try out different lead magnets to see what works, what people really need, because I'm about fulfilling a need. And then I have to just live in it and enjoy it and get creative and make it my own, because this is my sacred space that I'm creating. So I hope that that helps. I would encourage you to think about your business or your entrepreneurial endeavors as a stroll. And I would love to hear, if you are doing that, if you have done that, in the comments, how that's working out for you. All right. See you next time.